We are on the scene of that house fire in Ashland City that happened earlier this morning. News Channel 5's Dan Kennedy is in Cheatham County right now, and you're now hearing it is confirmed that lightning hit this home, Dan?
Yeah, good morning to you, Steve. That's the fire chief says it appears to be this morning. It happened a little before 2 o'clock. A lightning strike. Neighbors reported hearing a loud bang, and a man was inside this home when it all happened. Thankfully, he was on the bottom floor, and his smoke detector started going off. So he went upstairs to see what was going on, and he described the home as being fully involved at that point, fully involved in fire. Here's some video from earlier this morning. He did not hear the bang himself, but he did hear the smoke alarms and credits those with saving his life. Firefighters from both Ashland City and Pleasant View were here fighting this fire, and as you might know, it was during the height of those storms overnight. A lot of intense lightning and thunder, and the fire chief describes the complications associated with that.
Well, it just slows everything down a little bit. Our radios were getting wet and sticking, and it couldn't communicate good, and we knew there was no life, endangered, so we were just trying to protect the homes around it. We knew this home was probably a total loss.
Back out here live this morning in Ashland City, you see that all the damage on his front porch alone, some of these melted plastic objects and metal objects, and even some wooden porch furniture he's had on this porch, a home he's owned for 30 years. He says he does have insurance. Now, firefighters, when they were in this yard this morning fighting this fire, they said lightning struck a pole nearby. They felt the jolt, though thankfully no one was hurt, including the homeowner, who got out okay. Reporting live in Ashland City, Dan Kennedy, News Channel 5.
Dan, thank you. Also breaking from overnight, Sky 5 was live just a short time ago over a reported fire off of Sandon Street in Woodbine. Firefighters responded to that call shortly after 5 this morning. Callers reported smoke and flames coming from the home. As you can see in the video, there is massive damage to that house there. We're working to get more information on how much of a problem firefighters had fighting that. We'll have more for you in just a little bit. Right now, there are nearly 3,000 NES customers without power, and that's because the storms that are rolling through the area caused some problems. Crews are working to restore it as quickly as they can.
Yeah, those storms also brought down some trees on a number of roadways across Middle Tennessee, and a home as well. News Channel 5's Kimberly Davis is there where the home is damaged by a huge tree. You still, like you said earlier, Kimberly, you really can't even see the home there behind you, but because of that tree, right?
Same story right now, and Steve, we're still waiting on Public Works to get here and clear the tree. But if you didn't wake up from last night's storm, this is just an idea of how powerful that storm was. Take a look at this tree that is snapped in half. That's how strong the winds were. This tree toppled over on top of this home, and someone was actually trapped inside, and firefighters had to rescue that man from that house. Take a look at this video from overnight. We're told this all happened around midnight last night. This is at a home on 38th Avenue, right next to TSU's campus. They're telling us that somehow this tree broke, and a man made a 911 call telling the operator that everything in his home was dark. He said there was a lot of power surges happening. Take a listen to what else he had to tell 911 officials.
When I called them, they asked me to stay at home, stay away from any electric circuit or something dangerous until they come, and they got me out of the back door of the house.
Now, because this tree fell down on top of the house, it also took down power lines on the way down. So NES officials were also out here on the scene earlier this morning. They're expected to come here later on and clean up the lines that are still left, as well as Public Works. That man was not hurt, thankfully, and he is no longer staying at this home. He went to a hotel or a friend's home until electricity as well as this tree is removed from his home. For now, we are live in North Nashville. I'm Kimberly Davis, News Channel 5.
All right, Kimberly, thank you. A man is facing several charges after police say that he was involved in not one but two hit-and-run crashes in Donaldson. In one of them, the guy hit a couple of pedestrians, and those injuries, we're told, are serious. Officers tell us that Robert Platt told them he was intoxicated when he plowed into the pedestrians along Elm Hill Pike Wednesday afternoon. He was also involved in an accident on Anderson Road, which is out near Percy Priest Lake. Platt was later found Wednesday evening. This morning, he is looking at vehicular assault charges and others as well.
Happening now, police are trying to track down a man accused of an armed robbery. And this is surveillance video from the convenience store on Cunningham Lane in Clarksville. That would scare me to death. The guy pointing the gun at the clerk there. The holdup happened on June 12th at around 10 that night. If you have any information that could help identify this robber, contact Clarksville Police.
Well, big news this morning, and it's breaking news from overseas. From across the pond, British Prime Minister David Cameron stepping down from office. The decision comes just after Britain voted to leave the European Union. The 28-country group was created to try to prevent a third world war. Immediately following the announcement, the global market began to drop, and it could have an effect on the gas prices here at home. Already, the UK pound has plunged to a 31-year low. Amy?
This weekend's Nashville Pride Festival is supposed to be bigger than ever, and so is the amount of security. It's going to be the 28th year for Nashville Pride, and given what happened in Orlando recently, security has never been more important at the annual festival. Organizers expect a record close to 20,000 people throughout this two-day event. Metro Police are adding more officers to help police work the event all weekend long.
This is a safe space. I mean, the fact that we have, fences around the park, we have this park to ourselves. This is a place that people can feel safe.
Police will not give any specifics, but their presence, they say, will be both felt and noticed. Events get underway tonight with a kickoff concert at Public Square Park.